5,000. But for example, Manila Water, the price is around 19 pesos at this point. It's actually sold in lots of 100, so you have to buy it by hundreds. So if you want to buy 100 shares of Manila Water at this point, you'd actually just need just under 2,000 pesos, and that's it. You now own 100 shares of Manila Water. So
why is it there's this thing that most Filipinos think about is that you have to have hundreds of thousands even?
Well, that's really one of the biggest misconceptions about the market. And whenever we conduct our seminars, and especially when I talk in schools, I encourage them, because for that amount, I mean, earlier this year, you could have bought Manila Water for as low as 15, 16 pesos.
And now it's 19.
Now it's 19. So that is a decent return.
Yeah.
And they are a good company, and they are making money, giving cash dividends, etc. So you don't need to have that amount. It's really just a matter of understanding the market, knowing that it's there and what it can do. And I guess that's pretty much also both the issue with the SME board. Most people do not know that there is such a thing, that there is such a facility available for SME companies, and that they can enter the capital markets through that facility.
SMEs can be registered in the stock market.
Yes.
All right. Wait. You mentioned earlier during the break, Kendrick, that there are SME boards in other countries. Can you explain that?
Yes. Last year, China's launched its Chinex. It's called Chinex. It's also an SME board. Wherein it's also listed in the Shenzhen Stock Exchange, where people can actually pick stocks from there, good stocks, and invest in that, and let it ride. And if it profits, the investor also profits from it.
Oh, okay. Wait, we have another texter in. Edna of Angeles City. Edna, hi. Where can one invest 100,000 at this point, considering all the considering all the investment vehicles available now? This is assuming that this money is saved and won't be needed for the next 5 years. Okay, so this money, itatabi na lang niya, 100,000, gusto niyang savings. Okay, how do you best grow that money? Let's ask Aya first.
Well, first I would ask the person how much risk they are willing to accept, first and foremost, because risk and return are very, very related. So time frame good, 5 years, there's time for the money to grow and everything. But if you are willing to accept moderate to high risk, then individually investing in certain stocks would be a good idea. If you don't want to accept those types of risk, there are what we call bond funds, where the risk is lower, but again, the returns, of course, are also lower.
Okay. Wait, just to clarify a few things with regard to that question, for Edna, there are many instruments, and basically what we're saying is that mostly in stocks and bonds, they are mostly managed by you. Okay, you get to decide somewhat how your investment is going to be managed. All right, but if you want to, you can actually contact these two people. All right, they can help you make that decision for you. Okay, but we'll get to your proposals later. All right. Now let's get back. The SME board. Okay, the SME board. What is it in effect, Aya?
Well, it was a facility created by the Philippine Stock Exchange years ago to encourage SMEs to list and become part of the stock exchange. So if you meet the requirements, which are listed and they're long, they're all listed on the PSE website.
Yes.
But if you meet all of them, you can have your company listed on the stock exchange. The bare minimums is that at least you should be making money already. I mean, you cannot list if you're just an idea and you're just a startup and that you. So they're not really too keen on those types of things. But if you are already making money and you would like to tap an alternative source of capital, then the SME board is there so that you can sell your company to the general public. I guess one thing that people may not know is that Mang Inasal
Yeah.
was supposed to list on that SME board, but Jollibee took a look at it, said
And
that,
boom.
no, I think we'll just buy you, or actually we'll just buy 70% of you for 3 billion, and that was it. But they were already slated
I heard it was 6
to
billion.
consider.
Over time.
Well, at least the cash component at this point is about
Was
3 billion
3
for 70%.
Ow.
So
Yeah, that's not bad for a Carinderia back in Bohol.
if you think about it, that business was only started recently.
Yeah.
And it did start small, but it started making money already. So they decided to start, okay, maybe consider going to the SME. And if they had gone that route, they probably would have been very successful, especially since, hey, I mean, Jollibee just said, okay, we don't want you to list anymore. We'll just buy you since you're such a good firm. We'll just buy 70% of you and keep you off. So that can also happen.
In this case, let's just say, what do you consider, and I'll ask both of you this, let's start with Kendrick. What do you consider are the advantage of, let's say I'm an SME, I fit the requirements, and then I can actually get into the there. What is my advantage for that?
Okay, number one, that's for expansion. Okay, the people, now that you're listed, people will now be looking at you and potentially buy shares from your company. Okay, now you can use that capital, the additional funds, to put up other branches. If you're Mang Inasal, for instance, you can put up other branches, or whatever you want to do with your money. Because there are two ways to raise capital. One is you actually issue bonds, or where people will loan, people would lend you money and use that to expand, or you actually raise money through listing.
It's actually, for me, what you said, it's not really coming out as a loan, but more like people investing in you.
Yes, that's right.
Because if they lose the money, if the money goes south.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not. But if it does, it's an investment. It's also a risk, right? So nobody really runs after you with a hatchet or anything.
No, because that's an investment. Yeah.
All right. How about you, Aya?
Well,
there are a lot of
there are basically two, I guess, we have to first consider where you're approaching it from. I mean, if you are the owner of the SME, you would list, again, like he said, to raise additional capital, which is in some cases more advantageous than taking out a loan.
Yes.
And also you can think of it as giving your other partners an exit point so that you are able to operate better, because I believe one issue among SMEs sometimes is that a partner may want to leave.
Yes.
And then how do you properly value his shares in the company?
Yes.
Once you are listed, you do have a third party, in a sense, source. Okay, we say that, okay, our share is worth 2 pesos. You own X amount. So if you want to leave our business, you can sell it in the open market, or you can sell it to me, and we know what the price should be. So that is an advantage. It gives you liquidity.
Okay.
So I guess that is one reason why, because I do know that sometimes that becomes an issue, that there's 5 of you, you start a business, it does well, one of you wants to get out, but how do you then value his shares in the company, and who will buy it? If there is no market, then you have to physically start looking around for people. Which is, I guess, what happens. You start looking, do you want to buy this? Of course, you first go to your partners. What if they don't want to buy you out? At least you have that exit point available.
It's a good exit point, and it shows continuity of the business as well. Okay, we have another texter. Hi, I am Rainier. Can you read that, Alvin?
I'm Rainier. Can you explain the percentage of the different stocks? What that means, and if I buy, how can I assure that my dividend is correct?
Okay. So I guess he is asking about the dividend percentages. Normally, when a company declares a dividend, whether cash or stock, they will say it's a percentage. So if they say it's a 10% stock dividend, if you had 100 shares by what they call the X date or the cutoff date, if you have 100 shares, then you will get 10 shares. And this will usually be added to you about a month after. Same thing with cash. If they say we will give you a 5 peso cash dividend, 5 pesos times the number of shares that you have, that's the amount of cash you will receive, less, I think, about 10% withholding tax or so. So to find out how much you are eligible for, if you have the certificates, all you have to do is total up your certificates and multiply it by either the percentage that was declared or the cash that was declared. If you have a broker, then you have to ask your broker for a statement as to whether you were eligible and how much you were eligible for.
Okay. In other words, it's a very long explanation. All right. What I'm saying is that we don't have enough time on the show for this, right? For the details. But like I said, if they want to contact you, Aya, for instance, or you, Kendrick, could you just mention your numbers pretty quickly
Yes,
right now?
you can call GIC at 994-7424.
Okay.
And we do have regular seminars. Well, not so much now December because of all the Christmas parties
Yes,
and stuff.
yes,
But January, we will have a regular series again. So you can just call us, 994-7424.
994-7424. And how about you, Kendrick?
Well, they can visit my blog. Okay, it's http
Wealth Warrior.
www.thewealthwarrior.net. Note it's .net because a lot of people are looking for .com. It's not mine. It's .net, and you can drop me a line there.
That's the Wealth Warrior.
The Wealth